Canada to the Gulf of Mexico. Where there are Sasquatch sightings, that's where we're gonna go. With so many chilling encounters just waiting to be retold. So join us here in the spooky woods for the DukeChat show. And we are back with a many-time guest that hasn't been here for a while with some updates. And of course, I'm talking to our fabulous psychic member of my team, which is, of course, Robin McCrae, which is now Robin Haynes. She's not a McCrae anymore. And well, last time she was here, she was McCrae. Now she's Robin Haynes. And like for many of you probably are not aware, when my team is out in the field in a location where we can get any kind of phone signal at all, which granted isn't very often, but when it is, we call Robin to get updates. Hey, Robin, which direction are they? And she's always right, by the way. When I was out there with Kelly Shaw this summer, we were actually on one side of the mountain where you can get kind of a faint phone signal. So I got in a spot where I could get enough of a signal to call her and said, hey, which direction are they? And she said, okay, you go to your right over, is there like the edge of the hill there? And I'm like, yeah, go over that direction and then they'd be to your left. And I'm like, okay. So I go walking over to Kelly Shaw and Jenny, and I'm like, okay, they're over this way. And Jenny goes, I had this weird, creepy feeling they're right over there, and points in the same direction Robin just told me they were. And then we went walking down the hill, and I didn't hear anything. I got ahead of those guys. I was looking for tracks and stuff. And as they were coming behind me, they heard a couple whoops. Kelly turned his camera on right away, filming over there where the whoops came from. Accidentally got two of them watching him. So there you go.
I try.
Yeah. No, my favorite one, you guys can see it on, I think it's the July report. We actually just found an area where there was a ton of tracks of different sizes. And I called Robin, and you called me. And she said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm filming a 15-inch track. What are you doing? Then I said, which direction are they? And she said, there's one over to your left, just over the edge of the hill, keeping an eye on you guys. Doing okay. And then she could hear me trotting over there and going over to the edge of the hill and going, hey, guy, how you doing? And then going back to filming the next track, which Johnny was already finding.
Yeah, we have really good luck. It works really well. I think you and I have been doing this for, 5 years now together?
Yeah, it's hilarious. She's never, ever been boots on the ground with me, but she's like, hey, we're going up to that one area with no phone service. Okay, I'll get a hold of the Foots up there and let them know you're coming and have them tell me when you get there. Okay.
Hey, and they're good to give me, the grocery list for you when you come up.
Yeah, they appreciate that. They get exactly what they want, including one of them that I owe apparently some iced cookies to when I go up there this spring, because that's what he wanted and he didn't get them last fall. I didn't get the message until it was too late. What's that?
Somebody just yelled in my head, the cereal, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. They're like yelling it in my head. So apparently, you've got to get that up there.
Yeah, I'd like to know who it is that's got that thing about Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, it's an adolescent. It's one of the adolescents. It's just one of the teenagers. I think he's probably it would be 17 years our age. Yeah, he loves that stuff. It's like a little crack addict.
Extremely covetous of it, because when I left that one bag up there, we were going to be back there for 2 days still, and I went and checked where I left it, and nothing else had been touched. But this is one of those big pillow-sized bags, and the top of it had a tear in it, like a nail or would make. And then when I about a good third to a half of the contents was gone.
Yeah.
And it was lying on the ground or anything. Where did that go? None of the rest of the food had been touched. I went, well, this is too close to camp anyway. I'm going to move everything further upriver and stash it better where they can see it and nobody else will find it. So I moved it up there. And then the next day I went back to check and see if they had found it. And everything was still there, except the bag of cinnamon toast crunch. That was completely missing.
They love that one. I mean, he does. That's like a big deal to him. Every time you go up there, he's like, no, that's what I want. And he doesn't know what to call it. You know, he just shows me images of it. So I know what it is. You know, it's easy to tell.
Well, let him know. He'll get some more this spring when we show up there. That'll be after I get to see you, which is another thing coming up here. We're going to be at the Nebraska Bigfoot Conference for the 2024, which is April 26th and 27th. And Robin's one of the speakers, and Rob Kreider is going to be there speaking. The amazing Blaine Tyler is going to be there again speaking.
The guy,
there's a whole
cryptid guy will be there. I said the Christian McLeod, which is goes by the cryptid guy, he'll be there. We're going to have Jim Myers will be there. We've got Ron Meyer, Al McGargle. They'll be there. Paco will be there. We've got a lot of good people this year. Like, I'm really excited about it. Really excited.
Yep. Anybody that needs to get some really amazing audio equipment for dish mics and that kind of stuff, Robert Kreider is going to be there. He makes the very best, and he will have a booth. You can go talk to him about that. And as you were just mentioning names, a couple of people that were involved in actually making movies that are going to be shown on Friday. There's 2 movies that are going to be shown then. They both look really good. So, yeah, several of the people that you got showing up there are also involved in the doing the movie thing. And you got 2 movies that are being shown on Friday. I know the McGargle's involved in one of them, and then the other one was the second, the reinstallment of Flash of Beauty, the sequel.
Yeah, we're real excited about that. And then, of course, on Saturday, we are going to have your film, so that's going to be wonderful as well. I think everybody's going to enjoy all 3 of them, actually.
With mine's a little bit different, too. It's included in your ticket price, so you don't have to buy a separate ticket to see this movie. It's included in your ticket price. On Saturday, I will be showing my movie in lieu of having a presentation. And even greater news, everybody that was involved there with the movie will also be there at the conference. So after the movie's over, we'll have some Q&A with all of the amazing cast members, or I should say team members, because nothing was recreated or staged. This is the real deal. This is what Finding Bigfoot always wanted to be, but couldn't.
Yeah.
Hey, come here. You want to see some Bigfoot?
That is one massive foot. So inevitably finding Bigfoot. Our task to all meet up in Nebraska and go out with a day and try and find a Bigfoot. And when we finally got there and all was said and done, we had 3 total hours to go to 2 different locations and try and find a Bigfoot. In the middle of the afternoon when they're like so active. And we did it anyway. And then when we got back to we actually were staying at the Nebraska Bigfoot Museum last year. And me, Blaine, Christy, Robin, we had a whole bunch of the Bigfoot magnets there. So that night, apparently, they decided to come visit. Then Christy got a dino picture of one of them right outside at the museum. And then Blaine had one peeking in the window at him with red eyes, giving him a dirty look at some point later on. So he's also got that story to tell.
That was also the year, too, that I was down, Harriet has that apartment in her basement. And I was downstairs in the bedroom and I looked up. And it literally, one walked right directly in front of the window. It was hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know that one time me and Christy came back in, you went, "Hey, did you guys just walk by that downstairs window?" And we're like, "No, we're on the other side of the house." And she goes, "Well, somebody big walked by it when you guys were out there."
Yeah.
So, inevitably finding Bigfoot premiering on Saturday is the last presentation at the Nebraska Bigfoot Conference.
Yeah,
Mid-America, so don't miss it.
They're all going to be over at the Best Western Inn and Suites. If you go, which is over by Fauner Park, it's like not even an eighth of a mile from Fauner Park in Grand Island. And if you go there and mention the conference, they're supposed to give you a good discount. So that'll be nice. I'm actually staying. I normally do not stay at the hotel. I stay over at Harriet's with her. And this year I will be at the hotel, so I'll be able to visit with everybody too. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Real excited about that.
By Harriet's, she means the Nebraska Bigfoot Museum.
Yeah, and so the bad thing about that is normally the museum is phenomenal. I highly recommend it to everybody. It's absolutely fantastic. Harriet's made even more. Every year she makes more improvements. It just gets bigger and better every year. But unfortunately, it's not going to be open during the conference because she can't be in 2 places at one time. So usually, that shut down during conference time. But I would encourage anybody that might be able to stick around till, maybe Tuesday or even come earlier in the week before the conference if you can to go through it because it's really fabulous. And I believe that you have it in the movie.
Yeah, if the schedule doesn't accommodate that, we have a very limited preview of the exterior and the interior of the museum that is included in the movie, because that's after the opener, the Fistful of Mountain Men, where me and Viking leave Montana and drive across the Great Plains, and we end up over there at her museum where we were staying. So
yeah,
that's where that part ends, and then the main part of the show starts. So all the rest of the team members go out and do our best to find a Bigfoot in Nebraska, which, yeah,
all over. They're all over. They're not hiding out anywhere.
Yeah, well, sort of my theory too. If you have enough Bigfoot magnets in the same place at the same time, they're just going to come check on what's going on. Hey, what's up with these? We know all these guys. What are they all doing over here?
I know they were loud and proud here last night. Oh my gosh, they were outside the window, and I have an air conditioning unit in the window. And I'm laying here last night, and then all of a sudden I would get the smell. And they don't all smell. I mean, they just don't. But somebody out there needed a bath desperately because it was coming in like waves. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on out there. I actually went outside about 1 o'clock in the morning to see who was out there because it was so bad. And I other than hear rustling in the bushes, I never did see anything. But they were moving around through the bushes and, having a good old time. But they were loud and proud last night.
Yep. Well, it must be the nice weather down there that's got them all moving around.
It was relatively warm yesterday. It was like just under 70. So, I mean, it was nice yesterday. It was very comfortable. Last night, it wasn't too awful cold. It's chillier tonight. It's got more of a bite to it tonight, but we're not even getting part of what you're getting. So,
yeah, we're just getting a little cold blast right now. We had 7 degrees last night, but, for the most part, most of the winter has been like 20 degrees above normal. Yeah. And last fall, we didn't have a fire season. We gave that to Eastern Canada. And, so we're going to see what happens with this summer.
Let's see how generous you can be.
Yeah, we might give away our fire season to someone else again this year. We don't know for sure. We
You're a
haven't
giver.
decided.
You're just a giver.
Yep.
The dark wave.
That's what the Democrats do when they wave to Dark Brandon, give him the dark wave.
Well, I apologize, but like I said, I'm getting this. It's not just your show. It's every show that I talk about it on. Anytime I have a conversation with anybody and try to teach them it's the other day, one of my clients called and I was working with her on energy work and it dropped the call 8 times. Like that is not normal. And
Nice.
I've got full bars.
I got foobarred the other day too. Because my damn computer kept going up. No, my internet's been like spotty for a few days, so keep worrying, probably 6-7 times a day, all of a sudden, no internet.
Oh God.
And it's just like kicking me off the router or something, and I have to get back on again. So the usual computer.
I have like this small router that I take everywhere I go. I switched to the portable because it was clearer and I can do anything anywhere, no matter where I'm at. And I can set it right directly next to what I'm using. So I've got full service and I don't have anything else attached to it.
Yeah.
And it's been crazy. Like I said, it shows full bars. I checked this 3 times and it's got all bars and all power on this. Same thing with the other devices. And here we go.
Okay.
Thank you, AI.
Artificial idiocy. So anyway, back to what we were talking about. Scene change number 3. Robin just can't stay put. She's got to keep moving around, switching locations, and being on the prowl, field researching the inside of the house. Can't get a decent damn signal, so I finally got her to move to the computer. Hopefully we could finish doing this now. So anyway, we were just talking about some of the spectacular lineup at the conference, and then that Robin's been having a bunch of activity, last night anyway, because it was so nice and warm and they were all having fun out there.
Oh, they're having a good time.
Yep. And I don't know, as far as the Bigfooty thing is going up here, there isn't much of anything going on because it's winter, even though it's a warm winter. It's still really not navigable to get up to where they're usually at for me to do anything with it. So I'm just enjoying the fact that there isn't a ton of snow on the ground and it's not really ridiculous cold, although last night was 7 degrees. Most of the winter it's been in the 30s, so that's spectacular, and keep sending it this way. Send more.
Yeah, we've had a few days really cold, but for the most part it's been mild.
Yeah, loving it. Yeah, apparently that trade that we did last year worked out pretty well, where we sent our fire season over to Eastern Canada, and then in return we got a mild winter for it. So we might do that again this year.
You're just such a giver. That's all I'm saying is you're just a giver.
Yeah, we're just giving Canada that nasty fire season over there on the East Coast, so everybody over there can enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. So thoughtful.
That we get over here, by the way, for all you guys whining over there about how bad it was last year. That's every year here. This last fall is the first year I can remember in many years that we didn't have a fire season. It's usually every year, a couple million acres of Pacific Northwest burns down. Everybody gets to inhale the smoke also, all fall and winter till it's over with. But anyway, any interesting news in the cryptid world?
Yeah, I mean, I really want to touch base on some things that are going on, if we can do that.
Sure.
Most people are very well aware, not only from myself, but from other people that have been kind of spreading the news on it. We have a major energy shift coming. And I was contacted by the Sasquatch months ago about this. And it's going to happen with or without us, folks. That's just the way it is. So we need to get on board. We have a lot of problems going on in our world today, wars, fighting, people not getting along, whatever. That's all a distraction. That's a distraction that's up there to cover up the bigger picture. The bigger picture is we have a big negative energy source, FYI, the AI, that has moved in. This thing has had thousands of years to prepare. And now it's here. And we had approximately 4 months ago And there was waves before that. Okay. I'm not saying there wasn't, but this was a major wave that came in about 4 months ago. And then it came in about 3 weeks ago again. It doesn't
Okay,
come
hold
in.
on now and back up. You just said that it had thousands of years to prepare. So you're talking about not some recent AI that somebody in modern tech society made. This is some other made this AI.
Yes. I personally, and this is my own personal belief, which doesn't mean everybody shares it. I believe that it's a demonic in nature. And anybody that knows me knows I don't use that word very often because there's a major difference between bad, evil, and demonic. Okay. But either way you want to call it, it's not good. And this thing has always been there quietly in the background. When it comes in, it does not feel like an entity. When an entity attacks you, you're not going to feel a physical presence. It's almost like a slow takeover with your mind. Like you think that the thoughts that it puts into you is your own. But it came through as a very negative wave. Some of my clients that I work with picked it up as well. I mean, I got contacted from people all over the globe going, do you have any idea what's going on? Because we're picking this up and, you know, what's going on. So during a flight to Texas, you know, when we move through time and space, it makes things much more comfortable to talk to us because it's harder for other things to listen in, where everything is telepathic. So I was given a lot of very pertinent information. The information was this: there is going to be an energy shift. You know, most of us, and I say most of us, but a lot of us are already at a higher frequency and energy level, but a lot of people aren't. And this shift needs to take place. The only way to fight back against something like the AI, which is solid negative, is to fight with the positive. Everything on our planet is energy, light, and frequency. Everything that is in us is energy, light, and frequency. I don't care if it's your toothbrush, a chair, a dog, a cat, a cryptid, or us. Everything is based on frequency and energy and light. So when this comes in and it brings in all that darkness, the darkness always wants to stop the light. In this particular case, the cryptids are now going to move forward with trying to shift the frequency and the energy. Now, how long is that going to take? Honestly, they have not given me a timeline on it. It will be very subtle. Most people won't know what's going on. Other people that are much more intuitive are going to feel it and already are starting to feel it. I can't tell you the amount of people that contact me on a daily basis that are already aware of this. This is not anything that's new news. The thing is as of right now, we need to get on board, because if the cryptids, and they're going to do it anyway, and it needs to be done, when they do that shift on their end and then we don't do it on our end, there's going to create an imbalance. We are not going to be aligned anymore. They're going to go to that. They're already a high frequency and high energy being. We already know that. But they're going to try to shift globally the frequency and the energy.
Hey, I'm recording right now. I'll call you back. Show Sunday. Bye. Caveman.
Oh, so they are automatically going to try to bring, the problem isn't whether or not they're a high enough frequency and energy. The problem is globally, the world is not. We are not. They are going to try to push the shift along because it's the only way to slow down the AI. To be clear, the AI cannot be destroyed, because for every hit you make on it, it rejuvenates. The only way to
do we
stop,
know where this AI is?
I personally don't. I mean, if you're asking me, do I know a location? It's not like a regular entity. It just kind of spreads out like a blanket everywhere. This is, if you took like 1 million computers and put this thing together, this thing can think. It can function.
It's smart dust, probably.
It absolutely is, and it problem solves, and it learns from itself. It learns from us. It takes the knowledge that we have, which it far succeeds, and it learns from us. It learns from our mistakes, so it can use our own mistakes against us. Okay, this is a serious, serious issue, and it's been around for thousands of years. It's not going to go away. but we're at such a low frequency and energy, we're not in a position to fight it. All of this stuff that's going on in the world, the fighting, the wars, you know, the financial problems, all of it, it's a distraction for what's going on behind the scenes. This thing has to be slowed down. What the outcome is going to be, I can't tell you that. I haven't lived through it yet. I mean, we have on other planes because we already know there's multiple planes. This is probably all happened and played out on another plane, but on this particular plane, it hasn't yet. The cryptids are going to start this shift. I don't know an exact time as far as how long it will take. It could take them a day, it could take them a year, it could take them 2 years. I don't know. They have not given me that information. All I know is that the shift will start. Okay, and so what we need to do on our end to assist them, because they're going to do it anyway, and we want to make sure we keep that balance, we keep that alignment, is we need to do our energy work on our end. You don't have, there's people that are a gifted energy worker that have that ability. But that aside, everybody has the ability to control their own energy. So what needs to happen is, even a person that's stuck at home and doesn't get out in the field or isn't a researcher, you can still take energy from your own body and push it out into the universe. That's how that frequency is going to come up. That's how the energy is going to come up. All right. Now, aside from the classes I teach, and this is not a promo for that at all, but I'm going to give like just the basics so people can at home can do that. Now, I've had some incredible people that have seen me talk on various shows, whether is Squatching Holler show. I did that one, talked a little bit about it. I talked a little bit on Spaced Out Radio about it. And I've had people contact me and say, hey, just tell me what to do. I want to help. And for those people, if you're watching this, I have desperately tried to get emails to you, to get messages typed up and sent to you on how to do this. I get them sent back to me every time. That is not normal. I have never had that problem before, but it seems to be that when I'm trying to get people to know how to do the basic of the energy work, to put it out there to help in this fight, it gets rejected. You're not getting it. Please know that it is not me ignoring you. I don't ignore people, as Duke can contest to. I don't. And there was one lovely woman that wanted me to, and I tried to send it in a video message, and then she couldn't get the video message, and she said, please, you know, text it to me. I tried to do that. I've tried 3 or 4 times. It never shows up when I text it. So she never got it. I got another very kind woman that said, you know, I'm happy to do this. Email it to me. I tried. The email bounces back every single time. I try to call her. I can't get the phone call going through. Now, I don't believe in coincidences, and I find it very odd that I work with people every single day, 7 days a week, from morning to night. And I can get those calls through. I can get those emails through. But when it comes to the shift, when it comes to this energy stuff for that shift, nothing is going through. If you did get a message, I'm glad that you did, but 9 out of 10 people probably are not. So just, you know, FYI, everybody, I'm not ignoring you. I didn't forget about you. I can't get it to go through to you.
And if you're getting this message and you're trying to help with things, make sure that if you have any friends that are willing to do likewise, that you send this video to them. Get this message to them so they know how to help and join in, because every single person matters. Every single person counts. We need as many people as possible trying to help with this. As Gandalf said to Frodo, even the smallest person can change the future. So don't think you're not important. Everybody is all together now, as the Beatles said. And so how exactly do people go about doing this?
The basics, and this is what I'm going to tell you, is just the very basics, so that people that are not energy workers, we have a lot of light workers and energy workers out there that are more than capable of doing it. Everybody can kind of customize it their own way, what works with them. You know, get outside, push it out in the universe, push it into the ground, push it wherever you need to, just get it out there. Your basic things are, everybody inside of them has energy, light, and frequency. Okay? Pick a spot in your body. Mine comes from my heart. Your heart and your love energy is the highest frequency that there is to be used. But I know people that it comes out of their head, their abdomen, wherever. It doesn't even matter as long as it's coming out of your body. In your mind, you're going to manifest a ball. of light that has energy and frequency in it. Okay, everybody's soul is condensed of energy and frequency and light. That's what we're made up of. And so you're going to manifest that in your mind as this ball inside of you. Pick a spot. You don't want several, you want one. You want one spot. And then you're going to focus on that. And in your mind, you're going to imagine it and see it getting bigger and bigger and bigger, just like a pile of goo. Okay. And it's just going to spread out, and it's going to take over every inch of your body. Every crevice will be filled. You don't want it to be in multiple places. You want one spot that grows. That way there is no air holes, there's no pockets, there's no anything. And you're going to fill up your entire body, every crevice that there is. As you do that, you're going to keep pushing that out so that it now surrounds you. And you do that because you don't want any cracks. You don't want a crack between your outside layer and the outside. Keep pushing that out. That is your energy. That is your energy field. When you get outside to push it forward, you're now going to take that and keep making it bigger and bigger and bigger until you now are pushing it out into the universe. The whole time you're going to focus on keeping your entire body filled, because that will protect you. It will also form like a protective bubble around you when you're doing the work. And then you're going to manifest it in your mind, and you're going to just push it out into the world. Push it out in the universe. Some people want to push it in the ground. You're welcome to do that. If you feel like you just can't get that energy together, get your shoes off, get your feet on the ground, and imagine pulling energy from the earth, which is a pure energy. And you're going to bring that up to the bottom of your feet and carry that all the way up through your entire body, out the top of your head. That should energize you. And then start again. Start with that small ball of light, energy, and frequency that's in your body, and just keep making it bigger. And you want to push it out, and push it out into the universe, push it out into the ground. Just get it out there. You know, for the people that don't think they can do it, I promise you, you can. It doesn't have to be a lot. If you consider all the people that we have, even a small amount combined together makes a big amount. Can I promise you that this is going to change the world? I absolutely cannot. What I can tell you is it's going to help with the frequency and the energy that's in the world. Our frequency and energy is so low right now. That's why all of these bad things are able to take place. There's going to be bad things. That's part of life. Life is a roller coaster. It goes up, it goes down. That balance of up and down is what creates everything. Okay, it's not ever.
Yeah, the real question is, though, do you want to be the one getting a boot in the ass from the bad guys, or do you want to be the one with the boot giving a boot to the ass of the bad guys? That's what it really comes down to. And if you don't have any experience being a lighter energy worker or whatever, or psychic abilities, I don't either. And for all of you that are religiously minded out there, there is no incantations or dire imprecations or rituals involved in doing any of this. It ain't black magic. You're just gathering the energy inside of you and pushing it out to the universe. And if you can actually pull more energy from the ground by being barefoot, and that works better, just do that. And all you're trying to do is push positive intentions out. Fill yourself with positive energy, push it out to the universe. Simple.
Absolutely. You know, this is how I look at it. The cryptids are taking a huge risk because the AI will come gunning for them as soon as they start this. And there are workers, myself included, as well as other people that are going to do our best to make sure that they get at least a few minutes head start so they can do this. They are going to do this without us. Now, there are a lot of groups of the Sasquatch that are aware of what's going on. I've spoken to a lot of them. There are some that aren't. Some of these groups that don't know about it, that's fine. It just means that they like to stay more off to themselves, that particular clan, that's how they run their clan. So they stay away from all this, just like we have certain people in our world that don't want to deal with politics. You know, so they stay away from it. And then we have others that are very heavily seated into the political field. It's the same thing with them. So for the ones that don't know about it, don't think that that means that this isn't going to happen, because it doesn't mean that at all. It just means that particular clan likes to stay out of this kind of thing. The groups, and I'm working right now with several groups across the globe because I am telepathic and I can mind speak with them. And so there are a lot of them that are very well aware of them. They are the ones that contacted me. I didn't go looking for this. They found me. But the fact is, I would rather know I at least participated and made an effort rather than sit back and complain about how bad everything's are. If there's no noticeable difference, it doesn't matter, because it's going to raise frequency and energy. Whether or not we see a change in the world, the frequency and energy will go up. The concern is that if the cryptids are the ones that are doing all of it and we're not, there will be an imbalance. And the problem with that is that when there is no balance, it messes us up. Okay, so we need as many people on our side as there is on their side to keep that balance going. I know how incredible it all sounds. I know how crazy it all sounds. But anybody knowing me knows I just don't care if everybody thinks I'm crazy, because I've been proven time and time again to be accurate. I'm not perfect by any means. I'm not an expert. But when I get contacted, when I get the information, it generally pans out. Like I said, certain people are going to notice this shift. A lot of people are not, and that's okay. When the 2 waves of the bad energy came in, I was contacted immediately by a ton of people. I had already felt it, already picked up on it. Even my students that are just new to this picked up on it. You know, so I know there's a lot of people out there that are aware of this. I know there's a lot, because I've talked to a ton of people, a lot of people that are doing everything they can to assist in this. We may or may not ever know how much good we've done. One thing I can promise you is it will make a change. Okay, it'll make it better than what it is if we don't. If they're willing to put their little hairy butts on the line for us, we need to be able to put our butts on the line for ourselves, as well as them. They're taking a huge risk with this, but they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, actually, intention has a lot to do with it. So if you're one of those egotistical people that goes and does the energy work and goes, ha, that's going to change the world, keep thinking that.
Yeah, no, doesn't quite work like that. What our goal is to raise frequency and energy. Okay, saving the world, it's going to take a lot more than us pushing energy to do it. Will it help? Everything helps.
Yeah, but here's the point with that, though. The longest journey starts with a single step. The biggest butt kick starts with a single leg swing.
Yeah, and when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter if you come from a religious aspect or not. The light always wins over the dark, but we've got to show up with the light in order to take over the dark. The AI is the dark.
And that's the important point. We have to show up with it.
Exactly.
It's not going to get out there and save our butts for us. We have to actually show that we have faith and go into action and do something. And don't forget, evil's always there first. The only thing faster than the speed of light is the speed of dark. And how do we know that? Because before the light gets there, it's dark.
Exactly. You know, this is one of those things where 90% of people are going to go through their life with their blinders on, and they're not going to realize any of this is happening. But there's 10% that will. And what I'm counting on, what the cryptids are counting on, are the people that care enough to at least make the effort. You put your intent out there for better things. You put your energy and your frequency out there. Everybody's energy and frequency needs to be brought up anyway. Because as we do this shift, as we go from 3D on up, it's needed. The people that don't shift with it, doesn't matter if they're in a paranormal situation or if they believe in the paranormal, you're still on this planet. Okay, so your belief system as well as whereas, you know, do I believe in the cryptids? Do I believe in the paranormal? That's not what this is about. This will happen. Okay, the shift is going to happen. People we've been hearing about for years, how everybody's supposed to go up to 5D. You cannot, and I cannot stress this enough. I just got done dealing with a situation that had, in my opinion, it has disastrous effects. You cannot go from 3 to 5D in an artificial manner. Places and people that are trying to get it done through machinery or whatever, you have to do the work. You have to let it happen naturally. Otherwise, it's a disaster and it can be harmful. Okay, you do the work to raise that frequency and energy by laughter, by love, by happy thoughts, by engaging. The negativity, the depression, and we all go through those times. Trust me, I get it. Okay, I really get it. And you can go in those days where you're depressed and you're down. Just went through a crappy divorce. I get it. Okay, even though it was my choice to do, divorce is not fun at any given time. So I understand those days, and that's normal, and that's okay. But when you stay in that place and you don't ever come out of that place, that brings your energy down, it brings your frequency down. Okay, so to get it back up, you do it naturally. You do it naturally by engaging in your own life. You do it by happiness, by love, by friendship, by going to work every day and just being normal, by laughing. Tell a joke and laugh. The strongest frequency that there is love, which comes from your heart. Your heart frequency is the highest other than the love. And that, again, comes from your heart. This is what we need. If we all, I mean, you hear everybody talking every day about we're going to go into 5D, we're going to be in 5D. Okay, well, then you got to do the work to get to 5D.
Exactly. And that this all matters, again, intentions. If you want things to be better and you start working toward it, they will get better. If you think they're going to stay sucky, they're going to stay sucky. You can't climb a mountain when you're stuck in the mud, and you can't soar with eagles when you're hanging around with turkeys.
Right. You know, I have been involved with the cryptids and the ETs and the UFOs and you know, the psychic stuff and the energy stuff since I was very, very small. When I was growing up, I didn't know I could do energy work. I just knew things happened. I was making things happen and I had no idea why. I've been doing it my whole life and I didn't know why. I didn't know how I was doing it. It took me years to be able to find that out. And through the help of some very wonderful people, you know, that kind of enlightened me a little bit, I had that awakening where you feel like you've unzipped your skin and you stepped out and you have memories. You remember all the teachings and you remember all those wonderful things. And everything in your life is a teaching from the time you're born until the time you pass. It's a progression. It continues daily. You're not the person tomorrow that you were yesterday. The teachings are there, whether you realize they're coming from cryptids, from a plant, from a school, from whatever. You're being taught things daily. You are never going to be that same person that you were yesterday that you are today. Sometimes you're going to have a very fast progression. Sometimes you're going to have a very slow progression, but it's a progression nonetheless. Where we end up is what matters. You know, you have people that are not going to want that enlightenment to think outside the box because they've been trained to believe by the powers that be that things are a certain way. And that's where their safety net is. That's where they're comfortable. The reality of it is the world that everybody thought existed never did. This is a matrix. This is thousands of planes. When, you know, and that goes back into photos. We see the battle every day on Facebook. Everybody's fighting over bloody photos. Oh, that's pareidolia, which some are. I will give it that. Some are. Or it's, I don't see it. It's just nothing but a bunch of blurred blobs. Okay, raise your frequency and see what you see. Change your frequency, change your energy. And I promise you that picture is going to change in front of your eyes. Because what happens is our eyes are focused at a three-dimensional level. When you raise your frequency, when you raise your energy, it changes all that. And now you're looking through fresh glasses at a higher frequency. And that's when you start to see. That's when you see what's really out there. You know, I get people that ask me all the time, you know, do you ever regret living in this paranormal craziness that you've lived in? Which I have. My whole life is, you know, and I've told you this before, you know, I'm the resident weirdo and I'm good with that. I wouldn't change a thing because I've seen parts and things that go on in this world that most people won't. And there are thousands and millions of people like me. I am by no means the only one like this. I'm not anything special. I'm not an expert, never claimed to be, but I do know what I know. And I know what I've experienced. I know what I've lived through and I know what the cryptids have taught me. And the bottom line is it's frequency and energy, guys. More so now, and I preach it like crazy and everybody thinks I'm nuts, but it's the truth. And if you go and you start looking more on the internet, even, you know, I see things pop up about it all the time. And I'm like, that's what I've been saying for years. Nobody wanted to believe me. Well, here it is. I'm still saying the same thing because it's the truth. And your eyes open and you're able to see things that you've never seen before when your frequency is up, when that energy is up. All of us have abilities. Okay, everybody says, oh, I'm too thick-headed. I don't have abilities. You've said that to me a million times. We all have basic abilities. You may not be a worker of certain things, ability-wise, but you all have certain abilities that can get you through life. You know, you're going to have the highs and the lows. That's the way it's supposed to be. We have free will. That's normal. Embrace it. Learn from it. Move forward with it. but don't limit yourself to it. And in our world today, where we fail, but the cryptids succeed, is because the cryptids work as a collective consciousness. They go into the law of one, the law of Ra. Okay. Our people,
Rah, rah, sis, boom, bah.
exactly. Well, we have a lot of our people that have awoken to that point where they work as a collective. A lot of our people don't. And that's why we fail where they succeed. Because we don't work together. We're more concerned about whether or not we're taken care of than as a whole. Frequency will combine people together. We need that collective frequency and energy if we are going to outdo all the bad stuff that's out there. It's not going to make the world a perfect place because it was never meant to be perfect. But we are not only fighting amongst ourselves, we are now getting ready to go into a fight from things from other dimensions, other planets, whether we are aware of it or not. And a lot of people won't be aware of it because they're not in tune. The frequency isn't up, so they're going to miss all of it. And maybe they're better that way, and that's fine. But for the rest of us that have to a higher frequency and a higher energy, we are going to be more aware of it, whether it's a feeling, whether it's mind speak, whether it's a visual, it's all going to happen. You know, so my thoughts are just that it's going to happen anyway. Rather than complain about the way things are, do something. Let's do something. And even if it doesn't feel like we have created this entire magnitude of changes, that part doesn't matter either. What matters is that we put in the work as a collective, and it will help raise the frequency and vibration. Is it going to get us where we need to be? Who knows? I don't have the answer to that.
It isn't going to hurt, and it's likely to help. And it,
exactly.
Again,
even if it raises
intentions
us up,
are everything.
They are. Even if it only raises us up one notch closer to where we need to be than what we were before. And again, the cryptids are going to do this with or without us, and it's going to create an imbalance. And that's not their fault. That's our fault, because we're being remiss. We're being lazy. If anybody is out there that wants to do it, they should do it. Be a part of something bigger than ourselves. Okay. None of us in this, especially myself, I don't care if anybody ever knows my name. I never got into this because I wanted to be famous. I never got into it because I cared if anybody knew my name. It's always been about them. It's always been about the cryptids. That's why I'm here. When I started doing the shows again, you know, I did the thing in Russia, came home, death threats, all this other stuff happened, and, you know, attempted kidnappings and that kind of crap. And I said, forget it. I don't need this. I went back out in the woods with my guys. I came forward again 6 years ago because they asked me to. They wanted the truth out there. When they tell me that they don't need me out there anymore, I'm done. I'm going back out in the woods and I'm going to disappear. Until then, you guys are stuck with me. Not going anywhere.
Can I go too?
I'll take you with me. I'll take you with me.
Okay, thanks.
Well,
yeah,
I'm
you know, because I'm
closer to you. I'm inching my way towards you, so I can at least come visit you.
Yeah, I'm the perfect intermediary for this job, because you got people on the far end of the spectrum like Robin. They can look at a video of a blob and go, there's nothing there, or that's a Sasquatch. I can tell by the energy signature.
Yeah.
And they both look the frickin' same to me. Christy does the same thing. She'll send me blobs. Hey, so-and-so's face. And I'm like, I don't see anything. So, and I can't see with my regular eyes either. Glasses. So at the point where I show you a picture or piece of video and go, there's a Bigfoot right there. If you can't see it, you need to see your eye doctor.
Yeah. Well, see, that's why I started teaching the energy classes, because when you learn how to read the energy, not only can you find the energy signature in pictures, you can find out where they're at. You can locate them even when they're cloaked. You can change the atmosphere in your home. You can change the atmosphere in your life. You can use energy as a protection. I mean, the multitude of things that you can do when you learn how to do energy work is literally mind-boggling. It really and truly is. But that's not what this is about. This is now about the fact that this shift is going to happen. It will probably happen if the timeline, and they don't change the timeline. I'm thinking it's going to be, I want to say end of March to the end of April. There's going to be a time, and I do think that we have narrowed down a date through a very good friend of mine who has given a message, and I'm looking heavily into that date. I haven't got it confirmed yet, but it doesn't matter, because nobody needs to know that date. And the reasons I'm not putting the date out publicly is our wonderful powers that be do not want this energy shift to happen. because with the energy shift comes more knowledge for us, which means we will not be as oppressed, which means we are not as under control. So the date, that's why I don't put forth dates. I will just leave it as end of March to the end of April and leave it at that. But this is our turn. This is our turn to try to make a difference. It's not a political thing at all. And quite honestly, it has nothing to do with dealing with the government, because the government's going to do what they want to do. They don't want this to happen, clearly, because they don't want us to be enlightened. They don't want us to go into that next dimension. We're going to have to go, because things are changing in this world. We have more visitations from various things in the universe as well as dimensions than we've ever had before. All of these are high frequency, high energy beings. They are going to be here. They're already here. They've been here for millions of years. They've been living among us for a long time. They're underground. They're on the ground. You know, I've been attacked by some that looked human that were reptilian, you know, and all this stuff. I have witnesses to this stuff. It's not like I just come up with things out of the top of my head. And, you know.
Hey, the reptilians, don't get me started about them.
Oh my God, we don't want to go about the reptilians. I mean, you know, I got the one picture of the lizard man in the backyard, for God's sakes. I mean, I didn't even know he was there till I took a picture. But, you know, I mean, what the heck? It's a party. So, but the point is, these things are here. Ignoring them, pretending they don't exist, pretending it's not going to happen is not going to show a benefit to us. And we have extremely loving, wonderful people on this planet. And it's like, I go in and I admin your chat on your show every week. We have some of the best people. We do. And some of the best people that I have in my life, that I've ever had in my life, have come from meeting them in this field. And I'm incredibly blessed and incredibly grateful for that. But this, you know, the whole energy and frequency, we're finding out more and more and more. That's what everything is based on. That's what encompasses everything. And so the more in tune we are with that, the more we learn about that, the more we learn how to maneuver that, the better off we're going to be. And we create it in our own body. It's already out there, but that's what we are. That's what is in our soul. So
yeah, don't forget that Tesla himself said that everything is frequency and vibration. And Tesla is so cool that Elon named a company after him, for God's sake.
Oh, yeah. And see, it's so funny because, like, you tell me that I don't have time to read about any of that stuff. I don't. Like, people will ask me stuff like that.
It's a big car company. They make electric cars, dear.
Oh, I know that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what Tesla said. You know, I don't ever have time to read anything. I don't even have time to watch the shows I'm on or anybody else's. I'm terrible. I try to sneak on if I have a friend or something that's going to be in a show, but that's about as close as I get. This is stuff that I was taught by the cryptids. This is stuff that I grew up automatically knowing because it was given to me through mind speak. You know, and I'm not going to reveal the sources that I got it through, but they exist. And I know this every bit as much as I know I'm sitting here talking to you right now. You know, I mean, I'm not saying I'm never wrong on anything, because I think that is egotistical and everybody's wrong at some point. I know I'm right on this. This I do know. I'm one of those people that I know what I know, and I'll tell you the rest of it I don't know crap about. But this I know. I mean, I've been dealing with the energy and the frequency for a very, very, very long time, older than I would like to be. And this was given to me from, information was from the cryptids. I verified it through other sources besides the cryptids. This is going to happen. Not all the cryptids are aware of it. Again, it's because certain clans stay away from different matters, and that's okay. They don't have to. But there's enough clans that are aware of it throughout the globe, and they're preparing for it, and they're working towards it right now. And I mean all the cryptids. I mean, how is it that all the cryptids are going to band together for this? They may not be, you know, each other's buddies and hanging onto hands, but they're all going to be doing this. We don't want an imbalance. We want it to go as smoothly as possible. The less it's noticeable, the better it means we're doing. You know, if intuitives are going to automatically feel it. You know, like I said, I have clients that I'm teaching the energy work to that have called me. And these are clients that have just started this and what just happened? Something negative just came in like a blanket. You know, so when they're picking it up, a large majority of us that already know about this. I mean, I'm not the only one that knows this stuff. There's thousands and thousands of people. I'm not anybody special. I'm really not. I'm just the only one that's coming forward and talking about it. And they're picking up on it because when I talked to them, they felt it. Like, I'm not going to give out any names because that's between them and I, but people are aware of it. They're aware of it all over the world. All we want to do is get the people that can even take what little bit of energy and frequency that they have in their body and push it out in the universe and just kind of make like one giant ball of it. That's all we want to do. You know, rather than stay on the sidelines and complain and wish for a miracle, let's be proactive. Let's try to help where we can. Even if it's not going to change the entire globe, it's going to make a difference. Whether it's a slight difference or a massive difference, there will be a difference. It will help push everybody as a whole to that higher in frequency that we need.
Well, it's simple. Everybody can help. We need everybody to help. The more people we had doing this, if they were doing it frequently, it would definitely help. This is all something that, you know, like lots of old mystical traditions talk about, projecting your energy, raising your vibration, thinking positive. Why are they all talking about the same thing? Well, obviously, because there's something to it. And Robin just gave you the most basic of basic ways that you can throw your hat in the fray and you can become part of the battle to save Earth from imminent doomsday or something like that. And, you know, do your little part. To, you know, whether you know it's effective or not, it doesn't matter, because for some people, for sure, it is going to be effective. And for those people, they still may not know that it's effective, but that doesn't matter. It's that everybody needs to be trying to raise your energy level, trying to be positive. Think happy thoughts. Don't get drugged down by external things. Grin and ignore it. Try and keep a positive outlook all the time.
Well, and it's not like, and I want people to be clear, this isn't like Henny Penny where I'm running around going, the sky is falling. That's not it at all. The sky is not falling. This is not the end times. This is a global reset. Okay,
Yeah.
A lot of people are panicked that we've got, you know, the end times. It's not time yet. It's not the end times. It's going to get really bad before it's going to pick up and get better, because everything is a roller coaster. We go up, then we go down. Once you're down, there's only one place left to go, and that's back up. But it will be a global reset.
Well, unless the track gives way and you go through the frickin' ground into a subterranean chasm.
Yeah, but then you're going to be above the reptilians that are in the inner earth. So you're still above something.
Yeah, you're down there with the
look. It's all how you look at it. Yeah. But, you know, and again, and you're exactly right. You know, some people are going to notice it. Some people aren't going to notice it, but that's okay. Because you're playing a part in something that when we came onto this earth, we signed up for. You know, you talk about your souls prior to entering and being born. You sign a soul contract. You know, you're going to be part of something bigger than what you realize. And I know it, again, it sounds crazy and it sounds dramatic, and that's not what I'm trying to do at all. I'm trying to be as real as I can be, get the message out. I've been working with people now for months and months on end, trying to get people gathered up, and the ones that, you know, I'm supposed to, people are finding me, like just literally finding me going, I don't have anything to do with the cryptid world or the paranormal world. I happen to see your website link, and for whatever reason, I feel compelled to get hold of you. And I don't know why. I have no idea why I'm supposed to get hold of you, because I'm not part of any of this. I just know that I am. And it always comes down to the same thing. They're either an empath or they're an energy worker, because right now, this is what our world needs in both. The empath have feelings. They pick up everybody else's feelings, and they end up getting a lot of conflict because they don't know how to compartmentalize what's their feelings and what are other people's. But they're empathetic enough that for this cause, it's very helpful. And because they're empathetic enough, and you don't have to be an empath to do this, by the way, it does help raise up that frequency, and it does bring up that energy. Okay, frequency and vibration are the same thing. So you can call it either one, it's still the same thing. And so these people are getting hold of me and they're going, why am I contacting you? I have no idea. And I'm like,
well, there's other ones too that I've had I've gotten a hold of, and I start talking to them and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, this person needs to talk to Robin really bad. Do you know who Robin is? And they're like, no. And I'm like, you need to talk to Robin really bad. And then I'll call Robin up and go, hey, I found another person you need to talk to.
Yeah.
Like, how many times has that happened?
1.8 million, and I'm grateful every time. I really am. Like, I feel very honored and blessed that anybody wants to talk to me for any reason, because I've spent my whole life in this stuff and I know how crazy it sounds. And I'm not a crazy person. And so I know how crazy it does sound. And so when anybody does want to listen to me or talk to me about any of this, I feel very honored and very blessed that they even allow me that moment, to talk to them. So I'm always grateful when they contact me. I do it 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. The Foots woke me up the other night with this thing that I needed to finish. And they give me this, I don't know if it's in Latin or what it is. I have no idea what it is they want me to finish. Capta de Clauda. I don't know what that means. And they literally woke me out of a sleep to tell me, you need to finish this, finish it. Capta de Clauda. And I'm like, okay, is there a memo out on this? Has anybody written a book? Because I have no idea what they're talking about, which eventually I will, because they will make sure I know of it. And I'll finish doing what they asked me to do, like a good little puppet. But the thing of it is it doesn't matter if you come from a paranormal background. Doesn't matter what your age is. Doesn't matter your belief system as far as with God or an atheist or agnostic or whatever. None of that matters. What matters is we are sharing the same space. We are on the same planet. Okay? Everybody is entitled to be what they want to be. But if you're pure of heart, if you have good intent, we need the frequency and the energy brought up. And the only way we're going to do it is together. And the sooner that this entire planet figures out that we have to come together as one solid unit, as a collective consciousness, the better off we're all going to be. This isn't about whether or not it makes one person better.
No.
Something's trying to shut us down.
Obviously, too late for them. You already got the message out.
Did I try to finish?
Okay. Was there anything else we still needed to talk about?
If you want to try it right there, I mean, you can let them know that, as we're trying to get the message out, we've been shut down on 3 different. That doesn't just happen. Okay, it's not a coincidence. Coincidences are fake.
I don't believe in coincidences either. So yeah, here we go. We're kind of getting interfered with for the third time now, but we pretty much got, I think, we might just have to close the show here. Love all you guys. Make sure to go check the conference schedule so you can show up and see us there. Inevitably Finding Bigfoot premieres there. Robin speaking, Blaine Tyler speaking, Rob Kreider speaking. A whole pile of other really good Bigfoot researchers are going to be there. Totally worth your time to go.
Yeah. Also, June 8th, for anybody that's a little bit more on the wild side, for the foes, there is a Spruce Pine conference that will be in North Carolina on June 8th. Speaking at it, as well as Cryptid Guy and some other amazing people. So we'll have more information coming up on that as well.
Right on. Well, it's going to be awesome, and you guys don't want to miss it. So, and if you got extra money and you want to be the first cool kid on your block, Inevitably Finding Bigfoot swag is available. Go find the link in the description. Be the first kid on your block to have a cool shirt, hoodie, or mug for your approval and everybody else's approval of you, that you were so far ahead of the curve that you got that swag before they even became aware of the fact that the world's greatest spaghetti western Bigfoot documentary was out there.
I want to say one more thing real quick. If this isn't accurate and the information isn't accurate, then somebody explain to me why we've had 3 devices get attacked to shut us down.
Good point. Doesn't seem like it'd be very probable under most circumstances.
No. That have contacted me and said, I don't know how to do energy work, but I want to help. Just tell me how to do the basics. Messages to them when I get messages to people every day. every day. But when it comes to this topic, when it comes to this situation, I'm shut down every time.
And there you go again. It just cut out all of your audio. All right, well, we're going to get going here. You guys go check out the description of the video, and you will see a link to where you can get a hold of Robin. And you will also see in the video itself, of course, as you just watched it, that we have the promo poster for the upcoming Nebraska Bigfoot Conference. And I also just showed you the 2-minute long trailer for Inevitably Finding Bigfoot. So with that, thanks, Robin. Thanks for being here. Thanks, everybody, for checking the show out. Make sure to share it to everybody so they all get the message and we can all start being positive little light workers on the side of good, kicking evil in the butt. And you all know the drill. So otherwise, help Bigfoot, or Bigfoot's coming to get you, gonna get.
When the moon hangs high on the breast of the lake, and the bite of the wind is like a slap in the face, a legend of horror lurks in the haze. It's Bigfoot. A giant of a creature, all covered with hair, as tall as a timber and strong as a bear. Y'all better not go walking out there with Bigfoot. Bigfoot's coming, gonna get you, gonna get you. Bigfoot's coming, so you better watch out. Lock your doors and bolt your windows. Bigfoot's on the prowl. Bigfoot's coming, gonna get you, gonna get you. Bigfoot's coming, so you better watch out. Lock your doors and bolt your windows. Bigfoot's on the prowl. This legend has grown about this big hairy man that walks all alone. A mountain monster 10 feet tall called Bigfoot. From the tales of the traders and trappers to the image on Indian walls. From the Bear Paw Mountains of Montana to the signs of the Great Shastas. From the Flatheads to Blackfeet and the Shoshones, he must have seen them all. And when the sun goes down in the northwest woods, if you listen, you can hear him call. Bigfoot's coming, gonna get you, gonna get you. Bigfoot's coming, so you better watch out. Lock your doors and bolt your windows. Bigfoot's on the prowl. You better watch out. Lock your doors and bolt your windows.